pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Here.
Councilman McCarthy.
Here.
Councilman Wareham.
Here.
Councilwoman Noack.
Here.
Councilwoman Inzarella.
Here.
Eagles Lane. Take my glasses so I can see. Public hearings. The town board to consider local law number 5-2017, amending chapter 221 of the town code of the town of Smithtown entitled Property Maintenance.
Good afternoon, Supervisor, members of the town board. Janice Hanson, Assistant Town Attorney. The purpose of this public hearing is to consider proposed amendments to the property maintenance chapter 221. The purpose of the amendment is to clarify the 221 cleanup procedure that we currently use and otherwise just some general housekeeping matters. They're not substantive changes in nature. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Anybody wish to be heard on this matter? If not, I'll close the meeting.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio.
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy.
Yes.
Councilman Wareham.
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack.
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella.
Yes.
Under B, in the public hearing, the town board to consider the town's entry onto certain real property located at 165 Hickory Lane, Smithtown, New York, 11787, section lot and block number 800, 12703, 048000. Said property reputedly owned by Charles Reckon and Claire Reckon for the purpose of removing the accumulation of large amount of junk, rubbish, debris, including but not limited to old broken wood, broken pieces of fencing, dilapidated wood structure, as well as extremely large amount of other junk, rubbish, debris, an unregistered camper, unregistered boat, and 2 unregistered vehicles, and an excessive overgrowth of vegetation from the site, all in violation of Town Code Chapter 221.
Good afternoon, Mr. Supervisor, members of the town board. My name is Martin Simon. I'm an assistant town attorney for the town of Smithtown. The purpose of today's public hearing B is for the town board to consider entry upon the premises at 165 Hickory Lane and to clean up the large amount of junk, rubbish, and debris that Councilman McCarthy just mentioned. I've left for each of you 4 photos of the site taken by Public Safety back in October. The photos don't even really do the justice to the site on how out of shape it is and how it is in complete violation of the code. It's worth noting that right now, there's 10 summonses pending in district court concerning property maintenance violations against Mr. and Mrs. Rankin. They've never showed up in court. We gave them some time after they received the initial 72-hour notice to clean up the property, and they've done nothing to date. So at this point, it's time for the board to act.
What does the judge do when the people don't show up?
Well, what happens is, Supervisor, the court has not gotten jurisdiction over Mr. and Mrs. Rankin yet because they never showed up and they never appeared by an attorney. So the judge can't do much. What the town could do is we could put together an arrest warrant application, but at this point, we didn't think that was appropriate
Okay.
to move forward with this proceeding.
Anyone that wish to be heard on this matter? If not, I'll move to close the meeting.
Oh, I think we have some.
Did you want to be heard? Yeah. Well, then come up to the podium and speak.
Name and address, please.
John Urbansick, 30 West Signet Drive. If the situation that you guys are talking about, if this guy's not going to show up at court and make everything for the town more difficult, and we have the capability of arrest them, and then it'll set a precedence for the next situation that they won't let their house go to crap and ruin our neighborhood.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Dennis Orioles at 177 Hickory Lane. In regard to this matter, This issue started more than 20 years ago with this residence. Neighbors, we started making reports at least 20 years ago. I got a death threat when I first reported him to the animal shelter because of abuse of animals back then. And the condition just went on and on and on from there. And it's just got totally out of hand. And anything that, can be done would be appreciated. We've been watching this grow and grow and grow for years. And it's dangerous with rats coming out of the property and all the junk vehicles there and whatnot. It's just, it's a disgrace for the neighborhood and for that to exist in the town. So we appreciate that something could eventually be done with this property. It is worse than the pictures can show, believe me. Thank you.
Anyone else on this matter? If not, I'll move to close the hearing.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Mr. Town Attorney?
Well, Mr. Supervisor, if the board would like, I have a resolution prepared to authorize entry onto the property.
Okay. Well, you want to read it into the record now and we'll vote?
Yes. Pursuant to public hearing held by the town board on November 7, 2017, to consider the town's entry upon certain real property located at 165 Hickory Lane, Smithtown, for the purpose of removing the accumulation of a large amount of junk, rubbish, and debris. The town board hereby declares said site in violation of Section 221 of the town code and hereby authorizes the town to enter upon said property for the purpose of removing and/or remediating said violations.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Wareham?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Well, I
Supervisor?
just did want to offer the people a chance to be heard. So can we just hold on the vote?
Certain.
Does anyone wish to be heard on this particular matter? You were just heard, sir, were you not?
Just the adoption of
Okay,
the second half.
okay, you can finish the roll call.
Okay, and Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Item number C, the town board to consider proposed local law number 6-2017, amending chapter 101 to the town code of the town of Smithtown entitled Department of Parks, Building and Grounds.
Good afternoon again. Janice Hanson, Assistant Town Attorney. The purpose of this public hearing is to consider amendments to Chapter 101. What we would be adding is a provision to 101.13 to update the code to permit the presence of dogs in certain designated areas such as dog parks.
Say that again.
It would be updating Chapter 101, Section 101.13,
Right.
to allow the presence of dogs in certain designated areas such as dog parks, because our code has not been updated to allow for that at this
Okay.
point.
Thank you. Anybody wish to be heard on that? Yes, sir. Come to the podium.
Name and address, please.
Pete Vandalask, 49 Pineland Street, Wisconsin. Mr. Vecchio, I'd like to thank you for your many years of service,
Thank you.
and it's been a pleasure knowing you. I have some information I would like to give to the town board. May I approach? Just for the record, that information is a copy of a letter that was provided to Ms. Nowick in relation to some of the things that I would like to discuss. Also, it's a list of all the problems that I've encountered in Tona Park with animals that people bring into the park that do not follow the leash laws. I'm against any change in the town code that allows dogs and other domestic animals into our parks. Dogs are a menace to the public, unpredictable, requiring leashes. They soil the ground, athletic fields where the kids play, and the paved areas. Leash laws are not followed by certain individuals who think that the park is exclusively for their own personal use with their pet. The park is not staffed with appropriate personnel to enforce rules and regulations of the existing town code. Signs in this park are misleading and confusing. Enforcement of the leash laws is effectively left to the park rangers that at most make unannounced periodic tours. Why are dogs excluded except in designated areas, April 1 through September 30th, and allowed entrance to the park the rest of the year? What is the Smithtown Town Code legal definition of a designated area? Who is responsible to designate these areas? Will the public have any input in assessing designated areas? What is the Smithtown Town Code definition of a run-free area? Who in the town of Smithtown is responsible to designate a run-free area in the park? How does the public know that a run-free area is safe? Is the unpaved dog trail in Toner Park a designated area? If it is a designated area, then why isn't this physically separated from the park via a fence? This dog trail is now utilized as a run-free area, as it is stated on signs. Dogs must be leashed at all times except in designated areas. The sign that marks the entrance to the dog trail with an arrow has a Smithtown town sign directly below it saying, "No dogs." Does this amendment to the town code infer that during the time of October 1 through March 31st, that animals are allowed into the park and are exempt from using designated areas and can run free in the park at any location at the will of their owner in violation of the existing leash laws and Town of Smithtown Code? Who will enforce the town code rules and regulations from April 1 through September 30th, the summer months? And who will enforce the town code rules and regulations from October 1 through March 31st, the winter months? In my opinion, dogs and domesticated animals should be prohibited from this park. Item 1.
Well, sir, are you almost finished?
Yes, sir. I just
Okay.
have a couple more sentences. There is no designated parking sign for people transporting their dogs to the fenced dog park. Animals run free from vehicles because many owners cannot control their pet or merely just let them run free from their vehicles unleashed. Unfenced park boundaries, a small-sided park itself. Unaccompanied neighborhood animals have been observed in the fields and trails. Some individuals constantly ignore and do not obey posted rules, laws, and regulations, allowing their animals to run free and unleashed in violation of Suffolk County law and Town of Smithtown Code and its following areas of the park: the athletic fields, the tennis courts, the ice hockey rink, the unpaved dog trail, the paved walking trail, the paved gazebo walking trails, and upon exiting of their motor vehicles. Pets urinate and defecate. There are some individuals who feel they are exempt in cleaning and disposing of their pet waste properly. Park rangers, other than unannounced periodic inspection tours, have other responsibilities. Chasing Fido and issuing summons to pet owners is not the ranger's priority. Calling in a violation usually resolves in a response. We can't send an officer now. It will be sometime later. Summary: it is my opinion that prior to any change to the town code, that any and all changes be properly thought out and the code be amended in toto for the betterment of all and with input from the public. Furthermore, it is recommended that the town be consistent and have the same signs posted in all their parks. Thank you.
Sir? Thank you. Sir,
Yes, I'm sorry.
this proceeding is on television
Yes,
and on the internet, and our public safety director monitors this meeting, so he's observed your complaints,
okay.
and I'm sure he will act upon them.
I would hope so,
If he
because
doesn't, you can call me and I'll see that it gets done.
okay, I would just like to see something done so that when I go walking the park, I feel safe.
Sure.
And I've had too many instances where the dogs have invaded my space, I've been chased, there's been many unleashed
Well,
dogs.
okay, I understand that. And
Okay.
once again, he knows that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else?
No,
Okay, thank you very much.
thank you. Who else is next?
You need to make a motion to close the hearing.
Anybody else? No? Okay. Second.
Supervisor Vecchio,
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy,
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim,
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah,
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella.
Tim Walz,
Then we've been finished this one. Okay, couple more.
oh, you got more?
Yep.
Yep.
The Town Board to consider proposed amendment, Chapter 135 of the Town Code entitled Taxi Cabs.
The purpose of this amendment is to consider changes to Chapter 259, taxi cabs. Specifically, it would be changing the requirements for those seeking a license under Section 259-4. That would be proof that each vehicle is insured against liability and at least the minimum limits required by New York State for personal injury and property damage, and such insurance will be maintained in force for the period covering the license. Proof of insurance shall provide 30 days prior written notice of cancellation to the town. the name, local address, and telephone number of the insurance agent, and if the insurance coverage required is suspended or canceled for any reason, any license issued pursuant to Chapter 259 shall be suspended until proof of reinstatement or replacement of an acceptable, current, and valid policy is filed with the town clerk.
Okay, anybody wish to be heard on this amendment? If not, we'll close the hearing.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Angelilli?
Yes.
Public hearings, item A, the town board to consider the 2018 Year 44 Community Development Program and to disseminate such public notice to interested community groups.
Good afternoon, Mr. Supervisor, members of the town board, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kelly Brown. I am the Housing Rehabilitation Administrator in the Planning and Community Development Department. The purpose of today's hearing is to elicit comment on the request for funding for the upcoming Community Development Program year that begins in April of 2018. The town of Smithtown is a member of the Suffolk County Community Development Consortium. As such, our proposed projects are submitted to the county for their approval and inclusion in the county's official submission to HUD. You have before you a list of possible project categories and their suggested budget amounts. You have seen something similar at previous community development hearings. The projected funding amount for the program is $172,000. In an effort to maintain and continue declining funding of community development programs, last year we proposed fewer projects, reducing administrative costs of the program overall, and making sure that there would be enough money for each project that we do, so that the program makes a positive impact in our community. Spreading the funding too thin would not be an effective use of the program or of the administrative cost allocation. As in previous years, in considering projects for our program, we must make sure that two major requirements are satisfied. First, every project must qualify as a designated eligible activity, such as housing rehabilitation, infrastructure improvements, or handicap accessible improvements. Second, every project must meet one of the three specifically defined community development program objectives. These are: 1, benefit to low and moderate income persons; 2, prevention or elimination of slums or blighting conditions; 3, meeting an urgent community development need, which means activities such as cleanup of storm damage or other disaster repairs. That concludes my presentation. I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
What does Voice of Help mean?
That is a program that is run out of the Senior Citizen Department where we purchase units, and it's a pendant that's
Okay.
around the senior's neck in case they fall and can't get up.
Removal of architectural barriers at town facilities.
Yes, we can do handicap accessibility to town buildings as well as town parks and facilities.
Okay? You don't get much for administration, do you?
No, we don't at all, not at all. We're only allowed to use about 5% of the total allocation, which comes to roughly about $8,000 and change in order to run all of these programs.
Well, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you
Anybody
very-
wish to be heard on this? We'll move on.
Okay.
Move to close.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Angelilli?
Yes.
In the correspondence, item number 2, A through L, Parade Run Walk, Hopog Schools, 5K Run, November 18th, 2017, third reading. B, Parade Run Walk, Hopog School, 5K Family Run, April 14th, 2018, third reading. C, Parade Run Walk, St. James Chamber of Commerce, St. Patrick's Day, Parade, March 24th, 2018, third reading. D, Parade Run Walk, Frank Toto Memorial Foundation, 15K Run, March 10th, 2018, third reading. Parade Run Walk, Rotary Club Smithtown, Go for the Green, 5K, March 17th, 2018, third reading. Parade Run Walk Smithtown Kickers Soccer Club 5K Turkey Trot, November 23rd, 2017, second reading. G, Parade Run Walk Kings Park St. Patrick's Day Parade, March 3rd, 2018, second reading. H, Parade Run Walk Kings Park Youth Opening Day Parade, April 14th, 2018, second reading. I, Parade Run Walk St. James Smithtown Little League Opening Day Parade, April 15th, 2018, second reading. Item J, Building Department Report on file, September 2017. K, Parade Run Walk Descanse Athletic Leaders Opening Day Parade, April 14th, 2018, first reading. L, Parade Run Walk American Legion Donald C. Morrow Post Number 944 Memorial Day Parade, May 28th, 2018, first reading.
Anybody wish to be heard for or against the permitting of those events?
I have a general question.
Please come to the mic.
Well, hold on. Is this specific to this?
Yes. John Urban, 31 Cena Drive. I see Ms. McCarthy seeing some of the third reading, second reading, first reading. What is that, why they're different?
Well,
Do you have to read it in three different
I'll
meetings
explain
here to
it
make it?
you. The code requires that the events get publicized in the agenda, and each one of them must be heard for 3 times.
That's what I thought. Thank you very much.
Okay, item number 3, advertise for public hearing. A, Town Board to authorize the Town Clerk to advertise a public hearing to be held in the Town of Smithtown Town Hall, Patrick R. Vecchio Building, Victor T. List, Boardroom, 99 West Main Street, Smithtown, New York, on the 30th day of November 2017 at 7 p.m. to consider zoning petition 2017-03 by Dynamic Sports Management for special exception for a commercial public recreation facility, property located on the north side of Mall Drive, 345 feet south of Modular Avenue, Comac Zoning District, LI, Section Lot and Block, 180-1-8.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Item number 4, the Town Board to award the following bids and to authorize the purchase of the associated goods and services as per A and B. Bid number 17-084 for refuse removal from town facilities to Winter Brothers Hauling of Long Island and National Waste Services LLC. Bid number 17-097 for hazardous household waste disposal events to Care Environmental as per bid openings.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Item number 5, resolutions. Town Board after due study and deliberation of subject record to issue a secret negative declaration, determination of non-significance in the following matters for reasons stated in the memorandum on the dates indicated, A, B, C, and D. Smith Haven Auto Buyers, Marine Law Permit, and both those are for Suffolk County Department of Public Works, and a site plan approval for Frank Menino for Menino's Main Street.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Item number 2, the Town Board to approve the following. Letter A, adoption of the 2018 preliminary budget.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Item number 3, the Town Board to approve the following. 3 through 3AI, Town Board regular meeting, October 10th, 2017. Sole source slicing installation support services. Rescission of resolution 2017-953. Second extension of intermunicipal agreement with the town of Brookhaven for disposal of construction and demolition debris. Satisfaction of a mortgage for year 2017. Extension of agreement with Verse Industries, the receiver, to include a 2017-18 tax bills for unpaid solid waste or charges. H, the town attorney or appropriate official to enter into stipulation of settlement regarding various certiorari matters. I, purchase of computer software, server, and quality assurance technology. J, amendment of resolution 2017-883 adopted by the town board on August 8th, 2017 to increase the amount available to compensate Dr. Susan Zola for veterinary services by $25,000, total fees not to exceed $75,000. K, an extension of agreement with RC Formation for groundwater sampling. L, Dominic Acquista to attend the training services for drive-train services. M, Town Clerk to issue parade run walk for Smithtown Kickers, November 23rd, 2017. N, Town Clerk to issue parade run walk Hopog School District. O, retain the services of John S. Gross Realty Appraisal to obtain an appraisal for certain property. at a cost not to exceed $2,995. P, the Parks Department to purchase a track loader from H.O. Penn Machinery. Q, an extension of bid number 15-066 automotive lubricants. Or the town to find that an activity proposed by Suffolk County Department of Public Works in the marine law permit application in Nessequag River does not violate the provisions of Section 138-14. S, the town board to find activity of Suffolk County Department of Public Works in the marine law permit application 2017-2 in Stony Brook Harbor does not violate the provisions of Section 138-14. To approve Matthew Lankowitz, safety officer, and other people to attend a waste management seminar. U, town clerk to issue parade run walk permit to Frank Toto Memorial Foundation. Tax receiver to include tax levy 2017-18 for unpaid bills in Suffolk County Water Authority. W, the town clerk to issue parade run walk permit for Rotary Club Smithtown for the 25th annual Go for the Green. X, the town clerk to issue a parade run for St. James Chamber of Commerce. Y, the town clerk to issue a parade run for Hop Park School District. Z, the attached proposal from FPM Group for professional services in connection with the preparation of 2017-18 Smithtown financial assurance documents. AA, Planning Department to lease a copier. AB, Officer Town Clerk to lease a copier. AC, Controller to release cash in lieu of labor and materials. AD, amendment of 2017 road program. AE, sale of surplus Parks Department equipment. AF, extension of contract for auditing. AG, the Highway Department to purchase a used compact track loader. AH, Catherine Corder would attend a GFOA workshop on November 14th and November 15th as per town guidelines. And we have one more, we have a read-on in that group. It'll be attend a conference and course. Maureen Fiorello, Director of School-Age Child Care, to attend a Suffolk County Mind in Making training on November 29th and 30th and December 31st at no cost to the town.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
I think we'll give Mr. McCarthy a rest. Would you like to read, Ms. Noack?
Yes, sure. The town
Thank you.
board. Number 4, the town board to authorize the acceptance of the following. A, accept the check donation from Lance and Ramona Bennicki. B, Dr. Susan Zolo and kennel attendant Kathy Giglio of the Department of Public Safety to travel to Sorolana Animal Rescue. C, donation of $350 for a tree by Barbara Riggs and Jonathan Riggs. D, accept the check donation from Fabrico Vira in memory of Jack Hennessy. E, Highway Road Inventory Amendment.
That's Fabricio.
Fabricio.
Okay.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Number 5, the town board to authorize the comptroller to execute the following. A, increase account special assessment of the basis in the amount of $117,800. B, transfer of account office equipment in the amount of $500 and transfer to account office supplies. C, transfer from account motor vehicle maintenance in the amount of $1,500 and transfer to account motor vehicle maintenance. D, transfer from account part-time salaries, $5,000, transfer to account books and subscriptions. E, transfer to account accruals in the amount of $12,125.76. F, transfer from account personal salaries in the amount of $5,953.39. G, transfer from account personal salaries in the amount of $7,073.11. H, transfer account personal salaries in the amount of $13,965.64. I, transfer account accruals in the amount of $63,373.41. J, transfer from account workers' compensation insurance in the amount of $100,000. K, transfer from account personal salaries in the amount of $21,000. L, transfer from account contingency in the amount of $3,900. M, transfer from account personal salaries. N, transfer from account contingency. O, transfer from account interest. B, transfer from account traffic signals. Q, transfer from account contingency. R, increase animal shelter, SN, and microchip fees. S, transfer from account trucks and equipment. T, transfer from account MSF SWDIV retrofit LED. U, transfer from account motor vehicle maintenance. V, transfer from account SB16 automatic mulch bagging. W, transfer from account contingency. X, transfer from account personal salaries. Y, increase account equipment rental. Z, increase account intergovernmental project rental. AA, transfer from account road improvements. AB, increase account youth adult option COBRA.
Well, we'll review the rest.
Okay, good.
Lisa, would you like to go?
Actually, Councilman Werheim, would you mind speaking for me? I'm getting over an illness.
AC?
We are where?
AAC.
AC?
Yeah.
Okay. AC on our printed agenda through AJ are transfers and increase in revenue accounts as per the printed agenda.
Ed, you have 8K to add to that, to read on?
Okay?
What is AK?
That was the highway department for the maintenance bureau.
Okay, you take the vote.
Okay, the read on is to transfer in the amount of $70,000 from one account and in the amount of $10,000 in transfer from account DM in the amount of $60,000 for the highway department.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Victor?
Yes, how many you gonna read?
Item number 6, the town board to authorize the supervisor to execute a following town attorney. 6A, agreement between the town of Smithtown and the American Medical Alert Corporation. B, supervisor to execute the license agreement with CoStar Realty. C, agreement with EnviroSirence Air Monitoring Services. D, town board to authorize the attached proposal from FPM Group to provide professional services to the Department of Environment and Waterways. E, agreement with Comtech two-way tower rigging. F, agreement with Comtech two-way tower rigging for the Highway Department. Agreement with Comtech two-way for microwave link sites. H, agreement with town employee permitting voluntary transfer of vacation and sick time. I, agreement with Cablevision Lightpath. And J, renewal of rates for HIP and HMO.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Victor?
Okay, town board to approve settlement in the following matters per the recommendation of the town attorney. Russell Smith against the town of Smithtown in the amount of $9,041.06. Kathleen Rubino against the town of Smithtown in the amount of $5,000. Michael Popkin against the town of Smithtown in the amount of $300. And Danielle Thompson against the town of Smithtown in the amount of $151.99.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Victor?
Yes. Town board to approve the following personnel matters. Temporary part-time appointment of Sonia Lorraine to the position of clerk typist in the Public Safety Department. Full-time appointment of Joseph Rico to the position of Park Maintenance Director in the Department of Parks and Buildings around a rate of pay of $110,000 per year. Temporary part-time appointment of Patricia Nugent to the position of clerk typist in the Public Safety Department at a rate of pay of $10. Excuse me, a rate of pay of $10 an hour, not to exceed half the normal work week. A medical leave of absence for employee with the ID number attached in the building department retroactive to October 19, 2017. The unpaid medical leave of absence for employee ID number 1251 in the Senior Citizens Department. Reinstate Sherry Stevens to the position of Animal Control Officer in the Animal Shelter Department at a rate of $24.72 per hour. Temporary part-time appointment of Judge Rao to the position of Ordnance Inspector at the rate of pay of $19.14 per hour. Full-time appointment of Patsy Castillo to the position of Drug and Alcohol Counselor in the Horizons Department at a rate of pay $23.17 per hour. And the full-time appointment of Joseph Kazumchak to the position of Drug and Alcohol Counselor at the rate of pay $23.17 per hour, effective November 13th.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noah?
Yes.
Councilman Warehime?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia.
Yes. Town Board to authorize the following amendments to the Uniform Traffic Code and authorize the Traffic Safety Department to install and maintain the necessary signs. That will be under parking, standing, and stopping, and we'll add to the corner of Morwood Drive East, a no standing regulation.
Councilwoman Isabella?
Yes. Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia.
Okay.
I'll move on to the site plan portion of the agenda.
Water first?
Which way is better for your
Well, it doesn't make a
computer?
difference. Go ahead.
All right, site plan, regular meeting of Town Board, Town of Smithtown, acting in its capacity of the Board of Site Plan Review. Minutes approval of Town Board Site Plan Review for July 25th, 2017, and October 10th, 2017. Site plan of resolutions, conditionally approved site plan for application for J.F. DeAndre Corp. 17-12 for the purpose of demolition of an existing filling station and proposed construction of a new filling station. Number 2, conditionally approved site plan from Menino's Main Street 17-04, the proposed 4,599 square foot building. And 3, conditionally approved site plan application for 794 Middle Country Road, Chrysler number 17-15.
Councilwoman Isabella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia.
It will say there's a Board of Water Commissioners. Will you read that
Sure.
resolution,
The
please?
Town Board of Water Commissioners, October 10th, 2017, 2 p.m. minutes approval. Number 1, receiver of taxes to include a levy on a 2017-18 tax bill for unpaid water charges. Full-time appointment of Christian Schutte for the position of account clerk. 3, transfer, and 4, a transfer, and 5, sale of surplus water district equipment.
Councilwoman Isabella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Miller?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Supervisor Vecchia.
Yes. Those wishing to be heard, William G. Holt. Tim Walls.
Good afternoon, Supervisor Vecchio. Just want to say thank you for your generosity for the town, 40 years, okay? I talked to Public Safety Kathy, C-A-I-L-L-A-T. She's the head of the investigating department. I told her about 7 complaints that have been made to that office, and she is working on them, okay? There is one town code I'd like to have changed. Halloween lights up. They are not pertain to the town code only from November 15th to January 15th. Only Christmas lights are up. I would like that town code to be changed because driving around, there's a lot more people putting Halloween lights up. And the town code is 322-26, outdoor window and lighting. Number C, has to be changed because a lot of people are in violation of town code because of Halloween.
Okay. I'm sure the town attorney has noted that.
And thank you to David Flynn for helping us out, and Martin Simon for helping us out with the neighbor across the street. Kathy told me that stuff has been taken action over there on him, and that, I know John Valentine watches this, but the investigators have to call the people back if they leave a name and number. That's lack of communication. That's one reason your public safety department is falling apart. Lack of communication. Lack of communication from the board members, from all you who getting called, and that's one other part of the township. Lack of communication in this township falling apart. Not returning people's calls, emails, whatever. And that's one of the reasons public safety investigators don't call. If it's anonymous, I can understand that, but if it's not, and the person leaves their name and phone number, the investigators have to call back. I watch 18 a lot. Kathy did say that on the tape with John Valentine. Something has to be done to communicate with the people who are turning other people in.
Dennis Orioles.
Vecchio,
spoke
earlier,
earlier, right.
I just neglected to thank you, by the way, for everything you've done for the town all these
Thank you.
years and for us. And really, that's in relation to that first matter that I spoke on. But
All
I
right.
neglected to thank you, and we
Well,
appreciate
thank you
everything
so
you've
much.
done.
Is this Peter Hansen?
Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Peter Hansen. I live at 47 Empress Pines Drive in Wisconsin. I just have two quick matters. The 9/11 Responders Remember Park Board was established 10 years ago, and I'd like to thank you, Mr. Vecchio, and members of the council for all that you did to make that park a successful endeavor. I also like to announce, I'd like to give an event. This is the first time we're having a candlelight vigil this Saturday night, November the 11th, at the park at 6 p.m. You all are invited. And I'd like to thank all the veterans and active duty people in the room and throughout Wisconsin. May I?
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Join us. Secondly, a new civic association in Wisconsin. Wisconsin Civic Association has been established. It's brand new, and we look forward to working with the town board and the supervisor as time goes on, and we hope to establish goals that are smart, forward-looking for both business establishments and for the residents in Wisconsin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank you
you.
for your service.
Thank you.
Victoria Feuerstein.
I know. Just, I guess, the stop button, right?
Supervisor, councilmen, councilwomen, thanks for listening to me today. First, I want to thank all of you who have worked tirelessly and hard and taken a lot of lumps to advocate for our animal shelter and the dogs and cats that are currently there. I'm a volunteer there. I've had the opportunity recently to allow these dogs to run free, off-leash in the new area that's been, people call it the dog pet, big dog pet, and some people call it the dog park, whatever it may be. The dogs are running free, they're happy, they're healthy, they're going to be more adoptable, so thank you. Kudos to all of you. If the next thing I'm going to say has been resolved by the reinstatement of Sherry Stevens, then just tell me to be quiet, okay?
What's the question?
The question is this. When I go to volunteer, I notice that some of the dogs aren't out of their kennels.
Yeah, we're going to meet about that tomorrow, but...
Oh,
but,
okay. I'll be
but,
quiet until tomorrow.
No, that's all right. That's all right. Well, you brought that up to my attention last week, and I spoke to John Valentine, who was already on it, because we had a meeting with another advocate that you know, and when we got there, I noticed, well, the dogs are in all the pens right now, so I'm not sure what you meant. And then when I called Mr. Valentine, I mentioned your issue, and he said, well, I had the same issue. So,
All right. I don't
so
even remember talking to you about it. That's
Yeah.
how sad life is.
Right.
So I apologize. I could have been home.
Yeah, you had emailed
Okay.
me, but yeah. So
So you people are aware of it, and
they're out there now. They're in every pen. He's actually
Okay.
making two
All
more
right.
pens behind the original pens
Okay,
because we
good.
had more space. There was trees, so we cleared it out, and there's going to be 4 pens in the front, and then the dog park.
Okay. The thing I'm talking about is that the kennel attendants.
Right, to let them out.
Okay.
Right,
I'm out of
and
here.
get them in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
We're on the
Thank
same
you all.
page.
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Yeah.
Okay.
William G. Holt.
He passed.
Passed.
He passed.
He passed. John Branchek.
Hello, John Yabancic, 31 Signet Drive, Smithtown, New York.
Believe
I'm here again to speak about some events that I've noticed about the Smithtown Animal Shelter. on Friday or Saturday, I had posted on my Facebook page, which is public, anybody can go on it, that the town of Smithtown Animal Shelter's Facebook page hasn't put a post up since Tuesday promoting any of their animals. So that was upsetting as it was. Then the next day, I see a post from a rescue group that I'm fond of, and they're posting 2 dogs from the Smithtown Animal Shelter, one of them that needs hospice and the other one that's having a very difficult time. Then I go back to the Smithtown Animal Shelter page, and neither dog is posted on that page. So I'm like, oh my God, it's getting worse. How could they possibly not promote our own dogs on our own page? And then now the page is taken down because cyberbullying and accusations. I don't know who she's referring to. My page is public. I have nothing to hide. So I'm here asking to please put the Smithtown Animal Shelter back up, the Facebook page, to promote the animals, and maybe like do some live videos of the animals interacting with them. And when the page was, before you took the page down, you weren't promoting the animals. So put it back up and promote the animals. If you want to get the animals out of there, we got to promote them. That's all I have to say with the shelter today. And again, I'd like to take some of my time, since I have some time left over here. I'm still paying this man Mel Cohen's salary. And if anybody from Smithtown doesn't know who he is, he works for the Department of Public Safety. And if he comes to your house, if for any reason, any complaint, lock your doors, get your children and your dogs and your cats safe, because this man definitely has issues. He went up to the shelter and he threatened a person there, which I'm not going to mention their name. And he told me himself that she put food in the freezer of her own free will, acknowledging that it happened. And he's okay with that. And I still have an issue with that, and I will continue to bring public awareness about Melvin Cohen from the Smithtown Department of Public Safety. And that's all I have to say for today. I actually have 54 seconds left. Thank you, Mr. Vecchio, for your time, for your service here for the last 40 years. Sincerely.
Patty started.
She just left?
She left.
Is she in the hallway?
No, they left.
Well, we're not going to find her. Well, okay, we've concluded the agenda. We've concluded people who wish to be heard. So I'll move to close the meeting.
Second.
Supervisor Vecchio?
Yes.
Councilman McCarthy?
Yes.
Councilman Wareheim?
Yes.
Councilwoman Noack?
Yes.
Councilwoman Inzarella?
Yes.